Hello everybody, my name is Colin3639, welcome back to another video. Today in this one, it's another card analysis video. In this one, we are covering the new Lyrilusc support. So yeah, I know I'm about a week late to this, which was revealed last week, but I think this is still a very important topic to cover. Why do I think it's so important? It's because Bird Up is currently a tier 2 deck in today's current format, and that deck uses the current support of the Lyrilusc. So when you hear that Lyrilusc are getting more support in the near future, you have to start listening to see if that tier 2 deck will become a tier 1 deck. So that's why I do want to cover this topic. Now, the new Lyrilusc support will be released in the Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm, which has a TCG release date of July 15th, 2021. Expect that to change because of the whole COVID things happening right now. I know we're nearly at the end of COVID, but that's still, it's still going to be something that affects even the release dates in the summer. So don't expect it to be on July 15th. If it is, cool, but I could see that getting put back to somewhere in the August or something like that. But yeah, without further ado though, let's get into the card by card. So there is 6 new cards that are getting released with the new Lyrilusc support. 2 of them are effect monsters, 1 are a spell, 1's a trap, and 2 of them are XYZ monsters. So without further ado, let's cover the effect monsters, shall we? We'll cover the first one, which is Lyrilusc Burrell Cannery, which is a level 1 like the rest of the Lyrilusc are, a level 1 wing beast monster. So, you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first effect, if this card is in your hand, you can target 1 Lyrilusc monster in your graveyard, special summon this card, and add that target to your hand, but you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except for XYZ monsters. Okay, so that's an interesting effect to summon itself. And then the second effect is a when XYZ monster that is summoned using this card effect gains this effect as when it's a material. It gains 200 attack, also possession cannot be switched. That's actually a good thing because of things like triple tactical talents are a thing in today's current format. So having this on an XYZ monster, making sure your opponent can't steal your monster is actually okay. It's not like the best thing, but it's still pretty decent, all things considered. So yeah, a very interesting thing. I don't know if Bird Up decks are actually going to use this, because if you don't know what Bird Up decks do, they really don't go into XYZ monsters that much. I mean, they can, because they're using the Layerless and all that stuff, but they would rather go into the Link monsters of the Tri-Brigade. Because remember, Bird Up is not only just Layerless, they're also with the Tri-Brigade as well. So they would rather go into the Link monsters with the Tri-Brigade stuff and stuff like that, with Layerless being just another addition with that. However, you can probably just do this at the end of all those Link combos and then, special summon this card and then go into XYZ monsters. That could be okay, so I can maybe see this being used in the Bird Up deck after they get all their Link stuff out of the way. On to the second effect monster, Lyrilusc Celesti Wagtail. Okay, interesting. Again, it's another level 1 wing beast type monster like all the other Lyrilusc are. And this has a hard once per turn effect on both of its effects. So let's see what it does. If this card is special summon, you can add 1 Lyrilusc spell or trap from your deck. Very interesting because, again, I don't think there's any current Lyrilusc spells or trap cards out. But then again, there are the spells and traps in this wave of support. So that's not the worst thing in the world, just considering what the spells and traps can do. Okay, and there's other ways to special summon it because of all of the other Lyrilusc that are currently out can help it special summon this card out. Okay, and if this card's in your graveyard, you can target 1 Lyrilusc XYZ monster you control, attach this card as material. Very interesting. This is as a graveyard effect to attach itself as a material. That's actually very, very good because of things like Assembled Nightingale can get a shit ton of materials onto it. And let's just say it only needs, I think, 7 materials, 7 times... because 12 times 6 is 7. Yeah, so it needs 7 materials on Assembled Nightingale to attack for game by itself. Now, a lot of people don't do that. Usually they go into the Assembled Nightingale, then after they attack, they go downward and then into Zeus. And that can also help this as well because it adds another material for that Zeus play as well. So I think that's very, very good. Again, it's just another way to get more materials and stuff like that. And then it has a special summon effect to add a spell or trap card, a Layerless spell or trap card from deck. I think that's a very good card, and I can definitely see this being played in the Bird Up deck. Again, with the Lyrilusc getting more support, they could just become their own deck as well. I would not be surprised if that becomes a thing as well. Lyrilusc, Bird of Sanctuary. Okay, so this is the continuous spell card for the Lyrilusc. Let's see. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. So it's a hard once per turn for both of its effects. So the first one is you can target 2 Winged Beast XYZ monsters you control. Attach one of them and all materials attached to... Okay, so you target 2 Winged Beast XYZ monsters you control. Attach one of those monsters to... and all of its materials to the other. Okay, so this is, again, kind of like another, like, kind of Zeus kind of thing where you just attach everything to... Wow, that can be... Wow, that's very good. That's actually very, very dumb. Because remember, like I told you, it only takes 7 materials for Assembled Nightingale to attack for game, basically. Because that means it would be a 1400 attack. And then it would be able to attack 7 times directly. And then, 7 times 14 is way over 8,000. So, yeah, that could be enough. So, it seems like this archetype would want to throw everything on Assembled Nightingale to attack directly. So, this could be like a go second deck if Layerless get their own deck by themselves, not just with, Bird Up and the Layerless stuff and stuff like that. So that's very interesting for the first effect. And then its second effect, if you control an XYZ monster with 3 or more materials, you can draw 1 card. That I guarantee you, with this card effect being a thing, that can very much be a thing. So that is very, very interesting. I pretty much, yeah, this is a very good spell card. I don't know, again, Bird Up is probably not going to be able to use it, but pure Lyrilusc decks can very much use this card. So yeah, very good spell card, I would think. Okay, and now we got Lyrilusc, Birds of a Feather, which is their trap card that they're getting a new support from. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. So a hard once per turn for both of its effects. So the first one is you can target 1 Lyrilusc monster you control. Change the attack of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls to that target's... Wait, wait a minute. Target 1 Lyrilusc monster you control. Change the attack of all face-up monster your opponent controls, currently controls to that target's. Also, the level and ranks become level 1. So if you target... Oh, okay, so if you target like a guy with like 3,000 beat stick and you target one of your Layerless, it has to be an XYZ monster. No, just a Layerless monster. Then all of a sudden it becomes like, they have very low attack. Like 0 attack, 200 attack. Oh, well, that could be a very good way to counteract big stuff. Then again, can't counteract like something like Dragoon, because Dragoon gets targeted and stuff like that. And then its second effect, when your opponent monster declares an attack on a Lyrilusc monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Your battling monster attack becomes the same as that opponent's monster until the end of this turn. Not too bad. It has that graveyard effect. That could be very good. I mean, it's not that good of a trap card, all things considered, but the second effect I can definitely see play. Maybe you want to send the trap card to the graveyard and stuff like that. The first effect is like, it's whatever, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's whatever. But the second effect would be okay, I guess. So that is it for the entire like main monster stuff. Now let's get into the extra deck, which is very interesting. We got 2 new XYZ monsters that the Layerless are getting. So this is Lyrilusc Prom Thrush, which requires 2+ level 1 monsters. Gains 500 attack for each material attached to it. Very interesting. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. Honestly, not that bad. I like it. I like that it shuffles it into the deck. Yes, they can still like chain to the effect, but still, like if they can't chain to it, like let's say they have like, I don't know, some like let's just say they have Mirror Force or something. Being able just to shuffle into the deck would be very amazing, especially against like something like Eldritch, because the effect does go off instead of like Conquistador just being able to summon itself and stuff like that. It gets shuffled back into the deck and doesn't get like its graveyard stuff out. So I think that's very, very good. And then its third effect, at the start of the damage step, if another monster, at the start of the damage step, if another of your monster battles, you can detach any number of materials from this card. That battling monster gains 300 attack for each material detached until the end of the turn. Again, not that bad. It's a damage step kind of effect, so, it's very, like, oh, it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. So, I mean, all in all, it's not, like, the best XYZ monster. It's a decent XYZ monster. I guarantee you Lyrilusc will play it because they can shuffle a spell and trap and stuff like that. But all in all, it's not like the best XYZ monster in the world. Unlike, oh my god. Unlike the other XYZ monster called Lyrilusc Ensemble Robin. Oh boy. If you have been hearing about the Lyrilusc support in the last couple, or in the last week, this is probably the card you've been hearing about because, Oh boy, there is not a once per turn to this card's effect, and that card effect is kind of stupid if you ask me. So this is, again, kind of like all the Layerless XYZ monsters, require 2+ level 1 monsters. So again, if you control level 1s in your deck, you can play this card as well. Looking at you, Drytrons. So 1, this card gains 500 attack for each material attached to it. So it was like the other XYZ monster. I like how it gains 500 attack instead of, Assembled Nightingale's 200 attack, but again, Assembled Nightingale can attack directly, so there's that. But this can't attack directly, but it gains more attack. But the second one, and the more important effect to this card, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can detach one material from this card, target one of those monsters, return it to the hand. Oh boy, that is not once per turn, by the way. Oh boy, that seems like a problem, doesn't it? If your opponent special summons a monster, detach one, return it back to the hand. That's actually that's a very stupid card effect if you ask me. Yeah, that's not once per turn either. So if you get multiple materials to this card, oh boy, that's going to start becoming a problem. Yeah, there's I don't know why they didn't think to put a once per turn effect on that. That's a very powerful effect. Yes, it does target, but who cares? Like, that's still a very stupid effect on the XYZ monster that's not once per turn. That is very, very good. And then if this card is in your possession, is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, you can target one Layerless monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So it has, if it gets destroyed, or if it gets sent to the graveyard by your opponent, you can add, reincur stuff as well. But it's more importantly that second effect. Oh boy, that second effect is a problem to that. So yeah, that is it for the entire support, however. So without further ado, let's get into the conclusion. So, is the new Lyrilusc support actually good? I think so. I know it's probably not the best support when it comes to the Bird Up deck that requires the Lyrilusc and stuff like that, or the Tri-Brigade and stuff like that. But for a pure Lyrilusc support, it's very, very good. I feel like if this can maybe actually become a deck, a pure Lyrilusc deck. Would it be that good? Time will tell on that one. But I think it's very good support, especially that XYZ monster that's not once per turn for some reason. Oh boy, that's going to become a problem because that's generic as well. So, oh boy, that's going to become a problem if you control 2 level 1s. You're probably going to be throwing that deck into your extra deck without a doubt. But, oh no, I think it is very good support for the pure Lyrilusc deck. Yes, it's not good for the Bird Up deck, like I just said, but it gives a win con to the Lyrilusc deck with Bird of Sanctuary, adding more materials to things like Assembled Nightingale and being able to attack directly and stuff like that. So I think it's still very, very good. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content. Yes, I know I was like a week late to this, but I still wanted to cover it because I knew that Lyrilusc were good, and if they get really good support, they can become a tier 1 deck and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.